What truly lies behind the shimmering facade of global fame? Beneath the glittering lights of Paris Fashion Week, an event draped in prestige, adorned with celebrities, and worshipped for its international glamour, one unexpected, raw moment tore through the illusion. And at the center of it all, sat Wang Yibo. The 26-year-old superstar, known globally for his breakout role in The Untamed, his dynamic music career, and his unshakable poise, arrived at the event with all the elegance and quiet power fans have come to adore. Dressed immaculately in a custom designer suit, he exuded sophistication, every detail styled to perfection. His gaze calm, his stride measured. To the untrained eye, he was the embodiment of success, confident, composed, and invincible. But fame, as we know, is a double-edged sword. At first, everything sparkled with perfection. Cameras clicked in rhythmic bursts. Journalists buzzed. Designers, influencers, and icons mingled in a surreal dance of status and spectacle. Wang Yibo took his rightful seat in the coveted front row, a place reserved only for the most influential names in fashion and entertainment. Beside him sat an unnamed female celebrity, their seating arrangement carefully curated for maximum publicity. The interaction that followed, however, was anything but glamorous. She spoke to him, at first with a casual charm, then with an unsettling insistence. Her questions, though delivered with a smile, quickly edged into personal territory. "Do you have a girlfriend?" she asked. "What's your next project? Tell me about your love life." One after another, the inquiries came, not as a friendly chat, but as a series of probing intrusions. At first, Wang Yibo responded with professionalism. He smiled, gently, politely, clearly attempting to steer the conversation toward safe, career-related topics. But she wouldn't stop. Her tone wasn't aggressive, but her persistence was invasive. Her words, like tiny needles, pricked away at the protective layer he tried to maintain. Witnesses later described the shift in his demeanor as heartbreaking. His posture, once open and relaxed, began to close in. His arms folded across his chest, not in defiance but in self-protection. His smiles became tighter, thinner. His eyes, usually filled with quiet warmth, now darted toward the runway, to the ground, to anywhere but the face beside him. The cameras caught it all. Dozens of high-definition lenses captured the subtle but unmistakable signs of discomfort. The clench of his jaw, the rise of his eyebrows, the carefully measured nods and fleeting glances that said, "Please stop." What was meant to be a glamorous moment instead became a portrait of quiet endurance. "This isn't the Wang Yibo we know," remarked a seasoned fashion journalist. "He's famously composed, even under pressure." But that day, he looked like he was trying to disappear. Backstage murmurs started quickly. A stylist who'd worked with Wang Yibo confided anonymously, "You could tell he was uncomfortable from the moment she leaned in. She kept asking the kind of questions you don't ask someone you barely know, especially in a public, high-stakes environment like that." It crossed a line. The moment the footage hit social media, the response was immediate and thunderous. Fans around the world recognized the signs. They didn't need to hear the audio. His body language said it all. Hashtags began trending within minutes. On Weibo, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, millions of fans spoke out in unison, not just to defend their idol, but to highlight a deeply rooted issue in how Asian celebrities are often treated on international stages. "He is not a toy for entertainment," wrote one viral fan account. "He's a professional, a global artist. He deserves the same respect you'd give to any Western star." Another added, "Stop reducing Asian artists to curiosity objects. Stop testing their boundaries like it's a game." In China, where Wang Yibo holds near legendary status, the collective response was overwhelming. Fan clubs organized digital support campaigns. Artists and public figures posted quiet messages of solidarity. Comments flooded in by the thousands. many expressing not just support but sorrow. Sorrow that someone so dignified had to endure such discomfort so publicly. But among all the voices, one in particular stood out. It came from Xiao Zhan, his longtime co-star, creative collaborator, and close friend. With characteristic grace, Xiao Zhan posted a message that didn't name names or fan flames, but instead offered understanding. "I completely understand what Yibo felt in that moment. On international stages, we carry more than just ourselves, we carry stories, cultures, expectations. All we ask is for the same respect we offer others." Simple, powerful, human. For fans, the message hit straight to the heart. It wasn't just a statement, it was a lifeline. A reminder that behind the perfection we so often admire are real people, real friendships, and real pain. It was solidarity, spoken not through headlines, but through shared experience. And perhaps that is what made this moment so resonant. Not just that Wang Yibo was made uncomfortable, but that it happened in a space that claims to celebrate culture, beauty, and diversity. And yet, when a young Chinese superstar sat quietly trying to maintain his professionalism, his boundaries were ignored in the name of curiosity and clout. He never raised his voice. He didn't walk out. He didn't retaliate. He endured. With the same quiet strength that has carried him through the pressures of fame since his teenage years, Wang Yibo sat with his discomfort, let the cameras flash, and walked away without drama. But the weight of that silence, it demands something more from the rest of us. Why, in 2025, are Asian celebrities still subjected to different standards? Why are their boundaries treated as optional? Why must they be gracious in the face of situations that others would never be placed in? This isn't just about one uncomfortable exchange at a fashion show. This is about a pattern. A recurring issue of professionalism, of representation, of basic human respect. An issue where international stages still fail to provide equal dignity to all. Wang Yibo's Paris Fashion Week moment is now etched into the digital memory of fandoms across continents. But let it also be etched into our collective conscience. Because behind the couture, the fame, and the flashbulbs, he was just a young man, cornered by words, caged by expectation, silently asking for space. And for every artist who's ever been asked to smile through discomfort, to be charming through invasion, to just take it, because they're famous, we owe them better. We must do better. Let this be the turning point. Not just for Wang Yibo, but for every artist who deserves to be seen not just as a star, but as a human being.